believe it or not, I have some good news about the Democrats. Dems push to restore net neutrality rules. Well, that's good. So Democrats are basically going to try to force a vote under the Congressional Review Act, which allows them to reverse the FCC's vote. Now, the position they're in right now, this is fascinating. They just need one more vote. So, to their credit, every Democrat is on the right side of this, and they managed to get Susan Collins, who's the most moderate Republican. So they just need one more vote. They have one guy in mind, I think from Louisiana. I don't know if he's going to come through, though, because my understanding is that he's actually kind of backed out on this issue once before. John McCain, if he stays alive, and I literally mean that. I mean, there are reports he's on his deathbed now because he had brain cancer and he fought it, and then he had all these other complications, and, you know, there's been a string of stories about how he's basically doesn't have any time left. But perhaps McCain, if he stays alive somehow, I don't know. Is it possible for him to vote without him being there? I genuinely don't know. So they just need one more. They just need one more. But what would happen is, okay, so let's say it gets through the Senate. That's huge, and then you got more momentum on this issue. But then you go to the House, and the House, then it's an even bigger question mark as to whether it gets through, because it's overwhelmingly Republican, and you need to chip away and get a bunch of Republicans. I think the only way that it could get done is with massive grassroots pressure. I mean massive. I mean the Democrats would need to wage a PR campaign the likes of which we've never seen before, ever. The Democrats would need to be out there on all the Sunday shows, giving interviews all over the place, saying just over and over and over, 83% of the American people want net neutrality. The Republicans do not want net neutrality. Call your congressman and tell them to support net neutrality, because they're destroying the internet. There was another bill, by the way, that Trump signed, the Republicans passed. They didn't get a single Democratic vote. The bill was, it guts your internet privacy rights. So it used to be that if a website had your information, they legally couldn't sell it to somebody else unless they got your permission. They got rid of that. Now any website that has your information, they can just sell it wherever the fuck they want. That's the Republicans getting rid of your internet privacy rights. Now, net neutrality, gutting net neutrality. Listen, the polls are already overwhelmingly on the side of the Democrats. So they're doing the right thing here, but you have to, this is the problem with them. Even when they're right, another issue where they're right, by the way, gun reform. They have these ideas like universal background check, ban on high-capacity magazines, totally right. And most of them, if not all of them, agree with those things. But even when they're right, they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to wage a PR campaign. They don't know how to hammer their message home. They don't know how to put political pressure on their opponents. And then as a result of it, now, even when they're doing the right thing, it doesn't look very likely to pass. It might get through the Senate, which would be awesome. But then it would run into the House, the problem in the House. And then how would they fight Trump? Because Trump would just be like, no, I veto it, wrong. But you would need to somehow put enough pressure on him in order to get him to cave and do the right thing. So the good news is that all the Democrats are on the same page and they're pushing for it. The bad news is they're not pushing the right way and they're not pushing hard enough, and it's not likely to pass. But isn't it crazy? Net neutrality, the Republicans destroyed net neutrality, and then it's like the day after we're immediately back to like, all right, well, I guess they fucked another thing up. What's next? What's next that we talk about? Like, no, there's a really fucking big and important issue. A huge, gigantic issue that affects everybody. And to all the right-wingers out there, you think this isn't going to affect you in a negative way? There's no doubt that internet service providers are going to crack down on right-wing outlets too, because you're going to have to pay your bribes too to get in the fast lane, also known as to just have normal speed. So they're going to come after right-wing outlets also, so this should unify the right and the left. So it's good the Democrats are doing the right thing here. Fight harder. Push harder. Come on, we have to win on this issue. This is so important.